So if you don't believe in art block, this video ain't for you, buddy. Yes, I believe in art block. I think Jellybee's video of explaining art block was a great explanation. I will leave a link to that, and it's kind of what I believe. It's an umbrella term. It can mean many different things, but for me, it means when I keep drawing and drawing and drawing, and nothing I do seems to be good enough or to my liking. And before you say, oh, Megan, you just have to push through it, persevere, like, do you think I wouldn't have finished the sketchbook under 2 months if I wasn't drawing every day? 'Cause I was. Most days. Okay, maybe not every day, but I did almost every day. And I persevered, I pushed through it, I did the things and all this other stuff that people tell me to do, and guess what? I still have art block. And it's okay to have art block. I feel like I can't use the word art block anymore, because people are just gonna think I'm lazy, or I'm not trying hard enough. Like, apparently I'm not trying, apparently I'm not, filling up my sketchbook with, ideas and all this other stuff. I feel like I just want to talk about how much this sucks. Like, how art block just sucks in general. We always talk about, like, hey, here's all these cool things you can do when you have art block. You can do it. You can do everything you put your mind into. No. I mean, yes. Yes, you can. But can we just talk about how much it sucks? Just for once? Listen, I believe in positivity just as the next person does. But we don't have time to talk about the bad stuff. And my philosophy is, you can't get to a positive, great place in life if you don't focus and reflect what's going on right now that's making you upset. And if you think art block sucks and you're going through it right now, talk about how it makes you feel. Does it make you feel angry? Does it make you feel aggravated or sad or feel like you can't be good enough? Comment below. How does art block make you feel? And after you've gotten all your emotions out, reflect. And I feel like this is another thing a lot of people need to do. Because art block sucks. It just is bad. It's that annoying person that no one wants to hang out with. But it's there. And you can't, you try to politely tell him or her or they, whatever, to go away, but they don't. They just stay there at your lunch table and you kind of awkwardly eat your lunch or draw, and it's kind of like, please leave me alone. But they don't leave. They never do. So, around December, end of December to the beginning of 2017, new year, new me, I made a list of art goals for myself. And looking back on my list, I counted, and it's about 12 or 13 things I put on that list. Why do I do these things to myself? The world may never know. So, what I essentially did is I was trying to focus on everything up on that list a little at a time. And that's one way to do it. I mean, I tried that, and it really wasn't working for me. Because what I did is I focus on male anatomy, and I realized, oh man, this sucks. So I move on to another thing, and be like, do that, and be like, oh man, this sucks. And I kept putting myself down without really focusing on that one subject. So I looked at something, and I was like, wow, I'm really bad at that. So I'd move on to the next thing, like figure out clothing folds, and I'd be like, oh, this sucks, let me move on to the next thing, without really sitting down and practicing it, figuring out what I was doing wrong. I just kept moving on to the next thing. And so when I go through the whole list and realize, man, I still suck at this, without really giving myself time to practice, I go to the things I'm good at, and that mentality of, oh man, you suck at art, or suck at this one specific thing, spread to every, artistic portion of my brain, hey, you suck at this, but because you suck at all these things, you suck at the things I really enjoy doing, like drawing female faces and stuff. And so my brain was telling me you suck at art. And even though I know in my heart I don't suck at art and I enjoy art, my brain was like, hey, you're bad at this. And I was like, oh man, I do. Even though I knew I wasn't. And it sucks. Really, really bad. What everyone tells you to do is to push through. And I did, and I finished my sketchbook, and I don't like it. I look at the sketchbook, and I see that I'm trying, and I have some good ideas. I'm practicing, but nothing I like. There's nothing I like in here. It's just bleh. And that is perfectly okay. Guys, art block sucks, but don't let it defeat you. Draw bad things. Don't draw, like, porn. I hear they make good money when you draw porn, but no. Not until you're an adult. What I mean by that is, you're allowed to suck at art. You're allowed to draw something and then have it be bad. A lot of times we look at art and it's like, I want to do that, but when you try to do it, you can't. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You're gonna be okay. Advice to art block is just don't stop. I know that I'm gonna get through art block, One day it's gonna be like, hey, I'm leaving the lunch table, and then suddenly I'm gonna feel this giant sigh of relief, and all this awkwardness that was at the lunch table is gonna be gone, and I'm gonna be able to draw things like I really want them to. But you can't get to a point in life where you can draw amazing things until you get through the awkward stages of art. I feel a lot of times in my artwork especially that what I need to do, this is an art goal, this is like an overall art goal for 2017, it was my third art goal, and I put the word patience. I feel like patience is that thing that you can't force anyone to do, they just have to do it themselves. And I feel like that's a really hard thing for me to do, is patience. Actually taking time to study and do like real studies of art, and taking time to color and learn and all this other stuff, because I think a lot of times why I finish art sketchbooks so fast is I draw and I draw and I draw and I draw and I draw, and which is great, it's amazing, but I don't take time to study, look at things, and observe and put this and remember and put information in my brain. And I feel like that's the biggest thing I need to work on, is to watch those videos. Those videos on YouTube where it's an hour long learning how to draw the human figure, or how to shade, or an hour long video about color theory, and they're really boring, and it's like, oh my god, I'm going to watch those videos. I'm going to do it. Because that has a lot of useful information that I feel like, because we see an hour long, we're like, oh, my attention span, ain't gonna be able to do that. But you have the ability to press that pause button. You have the ability to rewind. We just don't do it because in society and social media, we want everything quick and fast, but you can't do that with art. Art takes patience, art takes time, and art sometimes when you draw it sucks. But it's okay. Because it's supposed to suck at the beginning. Because you have to accept art block, you have to go through the motions and be like, oh my god, I hate this kid at my lunch table, but you just have to be nice to him, or they, or whatever, and work through it, and maybe one day, they'll just leave that lunch table, or maybe one day, they'll be gone and won't talk to you anymore. Maybe one day they'll be back and be like, hey, you remember me? Yep, I definitely remember you. And art block, as much as it sucks, isn't always bad. And I know it's like this whole entire title of this video is art block sucks, but it gives you time to take a moment and reflect, and learn how to push through things. And I feel like that's not a bad thing, because with art block for me, it's showing, like, this whole entire experience of art block has showed me you need to take your time. You need to take things one at a time and have that patience. And that is the only way for me to improve. And sometimes art block is there just to give you a break sometimes. And you've been pushing and pulling out all these drawings from the top of your head and doing it one at a time. Sometimes it's there just to give you a break from all that. And be like, hey, you're doing a good job, but also at the same time you suck. But when you realize you suck, you realize you're not sucking. There's something else that's bothering you that's making you feel this way. Does that make sense? Because I don't think it does. So I have a question for you guys. Do you like these types of videos? Do you like this face-to-face interaction? Are there any other topics you want me to talk about? I'm realizing this is more than one question. Anyway, feel free to comment below, like, subscribe. Thank you for over 300 subscribers. I hope to get that number going. But, I mean, I haven't been posting a lot because of this godforsaken art block. But also school. School's like, kill me. But you know, whatever. Anyway, thanks guys. Bye.
Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to address. If you're a freelance artist and you make art to, I don't know, eat, then yes, you can't use art block as an excuse and you have to push through it. But that wasn't the point of this video. I mean, if you're feeling lazy, don't use art block as an excuse. Just say you're lazy. Like, dude, I'm not gonna judge you. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about how I feel about art block and talk about, you know, art block sucks. We're always like, oh, it doesn't exist. But you know what? Accept it. You know, you call whatever you want. Just know you're gonna be okay, and you're gonna do great things in this world, kid. God, believe in yourself. Okay, bye.